Hey everybody, Adam Savage in my cave with friend of tested Bill Doran from Punished Props. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I've been having a blast here in the cave.
We have been having fun. Bill was in town helping us with another gig that went up yesterday. You can follow a link in the description. But while he was here, we thought, let's chat with Bill about what he and Britt over at Punished Props are up to up in Seattle. And dude, it looks like you're up to a lot of fun.
A lot of 3D printing,
Yeah.
a lot of 3D modeling. Both Brittany and I went to school for computer art, but that involved a lot of 3D modeling.
Yeah.
So we're into it.
This is your zone.
Oh, that's one of my favorite places to be is CADing things, printing things in a constant loop. And we have taken that joy that we have for that kind of work and started a new small venture. We call it Gizmo Thrill. We have a printables page where we put all our models up for a membership. We have a bunch of free models. We have a bunch of paid models. And I brought a bunch of them here to share.
Amazing.
And put together.
So I will be honest with you, I didn't realize when we were first associated that 3D drawing, that CAD drawing was your level of expertise. Yeah. And I know that like a lot of people, if they know your channel, they know you as sort of like one of the prime instructional spaces on the web. And I'll be honest with you, every time I'm researching how to do something, you're often the first link I'm going to.
That SEO, we really nailed it. We also made a lot of videos too.
You have made
not as many as tested, but we're up there.
Many. But this zone of making drawings for other people to print, what is the impetus behind getting other people to join it?
So we've done some props, some 3D printed props. I made a Blade Runner gun. I made a tri-gun revolver. And we sell those files on our prop website for people to print at home, put together, they get their own prop. I don't have to mail them anything. It's awesome.
I love buying drawings from people. I buy tons of drawings every week from different artists.
Good, really good 3D print models are worth the money. And if you can find an artist that you really like that puts out good stuff, they're worth supporting.
And what is it about, what is it in your mind that makes a good artist? What are the goals you have for yourself when you're making drawings?
That's a great question, because when we're modeling stuff, especially when it's our own design, which all of these are our own design. Yeah. I don't want to get customer service emails. That's the main driver. So the decisions we make, for example, this is a 3D printed lock that we'll put together. None of this requires supports. Right?
Amazing.
So people can print it at home. They're being successful on the first print, so they don't have to come ask me for help, is really important.
And this isn't because you don't want to help people, it's that you only have so many hours in the day.
It's true, and I want people to have it print it and have a success right away. So we put a lot of attention into the design for printability. And then we also make instructional videos on how to assemble all of these so that people can just follow along. Again, they don't have to email me. Yeah. It's just a video. It shows you how to put the whole thing together. Some of them snap together. Some of them require a little bit of glue. So the instructional videos, when I want to learn how to do something, I go look up an instructional video. And I frequently end up on a tested video.
Now, you must download and print a lot of other people's drawings for mechanical devices. Yeah. What are some of the pet peeves you have that people don't do on their drawings for mechanical prints?
Something I've learned, especially from getting other people's prints, is when you have parts that have to nest inside of one another, leaving way more slop than you think you need, right? The computer can be really precise, like to a detriment, because if you make two parts that are exactly the same, they won't fit together. So I learned how much clearance to give, right? And sometimes you'll download a model from someone else, and the parts after they've printed, they don't actually fit together. You've got to sand them. So I don't want there to be any post-processing work. I want these models, you print them out and you just stick them together.
So you could prime this, paint it, and treat it however you like, but your goal is that it's ready to go without any
right off the printer, and it's been fun as a set of restrictions to work inside of, as far as design for 3D printing. I really enjoy that challenge. It's a lot of fun, especially if you want to have parts that are mechanical or move. So we have this lock here. It's got to turn the key and open. That presents a whole bunch of design challenges, and it's just really fun to tackle.
How often do you release a model and then get some feedback from your community and change that model based on some of that feedback?
So we put out a new model every month. This model here, this is Scooter the Tugboat. It's a free model, so people can go, download it.
I appreciate the lineage to Benchy.
Yeah, right? It is like my version of Benchy. So these are,
dude.
For example, here are all the parts for Scooter the Tugboat. There's a little stand for him to sit in. There's moving doors. There's a crane with a winch and everything.
This is beautiful aesthetically. Just
Thank
the
you.
gesture of all the curves is magnificent.
I really wanted something whimsical. Something cute.
Achievement unlocked.
And it floats. It technically floats.
No way!
But if you look in there, you've got to add some ballast.
Oh.
Otherwise, he'll just tip right over.
Copy that.
So that was something that someone printed it and said, I followed the instructions, but he just doesn't stay upright in there. So this cavity here, I enlarged it, and then I will update the instructions to say, I think I've said like 20 grams of weight, maybe 30 or 40 grams.
Amazing.
So I get that feedback from people who have printed it, and we can update the files if we want. The crane is there's these crane parts here. It's got a winch, little paw, and it ratchets and everything, which is so satisfying.
Way.
It's really satisfying. I'll leave this here for you to put together.
I'm totally going to do that.
This crane goes together with like a tab and slot design.
Ooh, so I loved doing that on the laser cutter when I was laser cutting.
And they're just a pressure fit.
Okay.
So that can be a little finicky. I think that's something that I could, based on feedback, that I could probably come up with a more elegant solution.
Interesting.
But yeah, once you throw your models out there and people start putting together, you get all sorts of great feedback. And like, look at all these tiny little parts.
Oh my God, it's like that last bag of Legos.
Yeah, and this is fun. I printed the nameplate, so there's a little spot for the nameplate on the back.
Oh, and you did it in 2 colors.
Did a couple layers in one color, printed in that direction, and then did the back of it in a different color.
Amazing.
So I get that.
Scooter.
Scooter.
Are we gonna get to assemble something here?
Yeah. Why don't we put together these locks? Because they're not too. The scooter takes a while, but we can put together these locks. It's a nice, simple design.
I have a question
really
for you
fun.
because your color choices are really quite lovely.
Thank you.
Um,
Finally putting that art degree to use.
Well, I buy a lot of filament. I look at lists of filament. What
There's
you
a
see,
lot of fun ones out there.
What you see isn't necessarily always what you get. And is it for you like it is for me? Like a little bit of trial and error. You order stuff, and sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's not.
Yeah.
In terms of color, because this red is like a really gorgeous. I want to like eat this red.
And that's from Protopasso. That's Amy's Blood of My Enemies is the name of that color.
The name of this color of Blood of My Enemies?
Blood of My Enemies.
That is freaking awesome.
Isn't it? I love the metallics. This copper is also one of my favorites.
Copper is really spectacular because, look, for the longest time, copper filament looked like copper filament. Right? I was looking at filament that happened to be copper, but now it actually looks like something other than plastic, slightly other than metal. It's like, it feels like something really unique.
Right, I've got this purple here I really like too.
Oh man, that is a Thanos face purple
that
if
actually,
I ever saw it.
I'll leave this for Kishore. So we've got a box or a bag of little parts.
Okay. It's so funny. I've been working on a combination lock lately.
Yeah.
I've been doing drawings, so this is, oh no screws, it's just pins?
Yeah, they do get glued in. That you could use screws if you wanted to.
Bill,
but
this is really cool.
Pins. I was hoping that they would be a friction fit, but they aren't quite. So they may need a little bit of glue, but we got that right here.
All right.
So it's a very simple 3-lever lock.
Yep.
We actually, my wife Brittany, her grandfather, he passed away years ago, but he's got a barn full of old tools in upstate New York.
Yeah.
And we get to go through there every once in a while and
gather stuff,
acquire stuff.
Oh.
And she found an old 6-lever padlock.
Yeah.
And we got fascinated. We ordered books about locks. We took that lock apart and fixed it, put it back together. And this is what that design is based on, except I only used 3 levers.
Sure. Oh, and you've labeled them 1 and 2 and 3.
Yeah, and they go in that way, upside down. So
upside
one
down.
goes in first, upside down.
Like that.
And that little tail that comes off of it is the
spring.
Is the spring.
Nice.
Oh, of course, mine is tight. Where'd that X-Acto go? So 1 and then 2 and then 3.
Right on top of each other.
Yep.
All in the same orientation.
Yeah, and you can see that there's a ton of little things that made this really fun to design. So these lines right here are to prevent the levers from touching one another, except for on those small spots.
Oh,
so there's a little bit of clearance
that reduces
between them,
friction.
Less friction, yeah.
Oh, that's really nice little bit of mechanical engineering there, Bill. Reducing friction, but maintaining a really nice alignment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next step. This is the back plate, so that goes on the back there. In fact, we can put the pins in there.
All right.
The only thing is there's two shorter pins. There we go.
Right. There's a little.
And those go on this side to make sure the shackle can go through there. So we'll glue those first. The shorter ones in the back go.
Oh,
there.
okay.
Or one on the front, one on the back. Tourbillon. That sounds French.
Apparemment.
Like that.
Ooh, mine's a pressure fit.
Yep, cool.
And then this is the other shorty.
And that'll go on the other side, but we can...
Oh, on the other side of that one. Okay,
Yeah.
so everyone else is long on this side.
I might...
Ooh, it is actually working as a pressure fit, Bill.
Oh, and I broke one. Cool. It's one of my favorite things about 3D prints, too. If you break a thing, you're like, well, I guess I'll just print another one. You know what? I think I got a little bit of like a elephant foot on this print here.
There it is. This press fit thing is actually really lovely, man.
Oops. Keep breaking mine. So one of my favorite things about these designs and designing things with with different parts is that you get to choose all sorts of different colors for your print.
And I really dig your color choices, man. Here you go.
Yeah, give it a little whack.
That's one of my favorite thwackers.
Yeah. I made a thwacker with a brass end on one side and a plastic one on the other.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
A good thwacker is worth its weight.
Okay, the shackle needs to go on. That's important.
The shackle.
Slides on there.
Oh, I see. The shackle has its own spring integrated.
Integrated spring.
Oh, and it opens. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Dude.
And it's just...
Yep.
Oh, so good.
That is
And then
really
springs
satisfying.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Just over and over.
Okay.
So now we can close it.
Really? Nothing else goes in it?
That's it.
Really?
That goes in there. And, well, I mean, if you look at the key, that's all the key is doing.
Oh.
Oh, and I broke my key. It's fine. I've got another one over here.
I see. Oh, you've done such a wonderful, simple version.
Yeah, right?
I love that. Amazing. And it does it in sequence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the key was really a fun little thing to design.
I see
have it
now.
actually
And
be
then
keyed.
this goes, right. Now I understand everything.
And I broke mine, so I'm going to get another one out of my bag. There we go.
I'm going to get a little glue on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so ideally, I want to make kits where you everything can be assembled without glue with just 3D printed bits. So I'm learning how to design for that. I'm very used to making stuff like for my props where I can use screws and stuff.
Right.
And I love doing that, but I just really love the idea of you print a thing, you pull it off the print bed, and that's everything you need to put it together.
This is the thing is that when I was operating the laser cutter at ILM, it was always my only goal, even though no one cared.
Yeah.
Not even
No
me,
one
really.
cared.
But the goal was if I was going to laser cut a set of things that tabbed and slotted together, drawing it and then laser cutting it and getting it right on the first try was always the goal, even though it never happened.
Yeah, right. I'm the same way with when I've got a little CNC machine. That machine can make a part exactly the way I want it.
Right.
It has the ability to do that without any post-processing work. And I'm getting better at telling it how to do that. But eventually, I've got to sand a little part or
Right.
drill a hole out for clearance or something. But I am getting better at designing for that.
Now I'm assuming that the next thing that happens is this.
That goes on, that goes on.
All right.
And this.
Right, we got the shorty. Oh.
Let's do this so I don't forget, because this shares all of those. So this is the keyhole cover. A little piece slides over it.
Uh-huh.
and then that whole thing goes over the keyhole.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, and then a pin holds, goes through all 3 layers like that. I'm gonna put a little glue on that.
Gotcha. Oh man.
I saw.
And it's one of the long ones. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I was looking up references of locks, and all the ones that had like a little door that would swing out of the way for the keyhole. I was like, I want that feature. The sliding one really got me.
I've got to show you a little lock surround I made for locking box last year. You'll appreciate it.
I'm sure I will.
Because when you look at the old antique stuff, one of the most surprising things is how gummy everybody's lines are.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
can I borrow that?
When I was making armor with Terry English, he told me that he never used a ruler for measuring rivets around a perimeter because it's totally obvious to him that no armor in British history ever did.
Yeah. Let's see, the short one goes here.
Oh, yeah. And I immediately put the long one in there.
Yep.
So the shorty goes in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that is, I mean, with 3D printing and CNC, you can make something look machined, right? But that may not be the look you're going for.
All right. Now I think I see where this goes, Bill.
Yep.
I think
you got it.
Something like that. Oh, wait, no, it's that.
There you go. And that's just decorative.
It is. And it still opens
bezel.
with that?
Yeah.
Really? Crazy.
Yep.
Let's give this a shot. And so it does.
It does.
Dude.
All right.
Well, I don't mean to sound so surprised, but this is not only an excellent mechanical design, it is also a beautiful visual, physical design.
Thank you. I have always considered myself to be a pretty crap designer, and this side hustle we're working on here has got me to practice more at designing things, and I'm very pleased with how this design came out.
Well, here's the thing I want to say about this is like, look, I love locks. I watch The Lock Picking Lawyer every other day. I own some really weird locks. I appreciate the mechanisms, and also I love old weird stuff. But one of my issues is that like when you're interested in, let's say, in old padlocks and you spend an hour Googling them, within an hour you've kind of seen all the padlocks that the internet has to show you.
Yep.
And this doesn't fall into anything I've ever seen before, which is always a thrill.
Right?
From a design standpoint. This is like a wholly new idea of locks to me.
I did that search. I looked up every padlock design out there under the sun. And you also start to learn about locks and lock manufacturing. So yeah, I looked at a lot of inspiration from like fantasy video games and stuff that we play. I really fell in love with this. I started by drawing a bunch of silhouettes.
Right. Yeah.
And I drew a couple of circles, and I was like, I love the idea that it's just 2 circles.
Yeah, like the Volkswagen Beetle reboot.
Yeah.
3 circles. That's always how I start with my designs. I start with some silhouettes and some shapes, and then I draw some shapes until something feels good, and then I chase that. I really love the notching of this. I love the reveal of the color underneath. The specular aspect of this specific copper gold. I'm gonna have to get this from you because it feels like metal, man.
Yeah.
Like it's selling a look to me that I really dig.
There we go. All right. Does mine open? Sure does.
And it operates whether you go one direction or the other.
Yeah.
Is the whole Punished Props pivoting from instructional to making designs for cell and construction?
The Gizmo Thrill is the thing we're doing for all our 3D printing stuff. It's not it's non-props. These are like desktop objects, just neat, fun designs that scratch a niche for us.
Yeah.
So that's all over on printables. We have a club over there you can join if you want to get access to models. We have a ton of free models too.
We'll include links to all of these in the description below.
Yeah. Punished Props we're still making our videos on our YouTube channel. That's kind of a separate thing. So you can expect more from that, from us over there. But if 3D printing is your thing, you're looking for neat things to print and put together, assembly is like core to what we're doing with this.
I have to say, having built and assembled a whole bunch of quote-unquote kits from Printables and Thingiverse and all the others, Cults 3D, etc. go and get yourself some of these. This is like a master class in proper assembly and instruction. It is just so much smoother and with so much of an eye to real design, man. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Well, thank you. We're having so much fun designing them. This is a little robot that Brittany designed who's kind of puppetable. He holds a little business card.
Oh!
Little dragon, little desktop dragon with what do you call it?
Does he dispense toothpicks?
No, but, he holds stuff in his mouth, but it's got a compliant mechanism.
Nice.
For doing the jaw action there. So again, we're using this sort of design process to learn about those kinds of mechanisms. And
compliant mechanisms are one of the coolest things that 3D printing is really optimized for exploring.
Oh, really? It is a fun place to be exploring too.
And you guys are releasing new stuff every single month.
New stuff every month. Gizmo Thrill over in Printables.
Bill, thank you so much for showing us this
Yeah,
magic.
you bet.
And I'm so excited about this. I'm going to use it to log out my diary.